Hello everyone. In today's video, I will be talking about the cholinergic receptors, otherwise also called as parasympathetic or parasympathomimetic receptors. Now, the cholinergic receptors are divided mainly into the muscarinic type and then the nicotinic type. We have nicotinic here and we have muscarinic receptor here. So, muscarinic receptors these are GPCR receptors. GPCR receptors means that is G protein coupled receptors. So, this may act through GS, GI, GQ, and so on. I will say the details later on. Then these type of receptors are slower in action in comparison to the nicotinic type of receptor, and because this mediates the second messenger pathway, so it is a little late. Then we have there is no ion involvement, so there is no opening of any channel, mostly in muscarinic receptors. Then nicotinic receptors, we have this is ligand gated ion channel, and here there is involvement of opening of sodium or calcium channel. So it is related with the influx or permeability of the ions. And in comparison to muscarinic, this is faster in action, and it is mostly stimulatory type. Whereas this can be stimulatory or can be inhibitory. So M2 receptor, like on heart, it has inhibitory effect. So we will see the muscarinic receptor one by one. We have the location, response, function, and significance. M1 receptor is located mainly in CNS, that is cortex, stratum, thalamus, hippocampus. Then ganglia gland, like gastric glands, and then salivary gland. The response which is mediated by stimulation of this receptor is through GPCR, and the type of GPCR is GQ, IP3 tag mediated pathway. That leads to depolarization, and also it may activate the phospholipase D2 or phospholipase A2, leading to increased formation of arachidonic acid. So this GQ, GS, GI, I have already made a video on all these things. Then coming to the physiological function, upon stimulation of this type of receptor, there is increased cognitive activity, and that's why the clinical significance is there in cognitive dysfunction. Then it increases the seizure activity, there is decrease in dopamine release, then there is increase in granular secretion, and then there is increased autonomic ganglia depolarization. The clinical significance is in Alzheimer's disease, in cognitive dysfunction, and schizophrenia. Coming to the other type, which is M2 receptor, and that is present in CNS like hindbrain, cortex, hippocampus, stratum, smooth muscle, and most importantly in the heart. So upon stimulation this receptor, it will act through again the GPCR, but the type here is GI type. And as we already know that the stimulation of this type of GPCR will cause the inhibition of the adenylyl cyclase enzyme, leading to decreased formation of CMP. So CMP mediated pathway, that is protein kinase A and formation, and those things would be inhibited. Also there would be inward potassium channel activation, then decrease in voltage gated calcium channel, leading to hyperpolarization. So series of events are there, many events are there which will lead to hyperpolarization. Coming on to the physiological function. Basically, we'll discuss about a heart mostly. See, this is present mostly in SA node, AV node, and atrium, and it will inhibit the heart function. So there, upon stimulation of this type of receptor, when present on heart, this will cause a hyperpolarization of SA node and leading to decrease in heart rate, because SA node controls the heart rate. And AV conduction is also decreased and atrium contraction is also decreased. Coming to the smooth muscle, the contraction is increased in here, to be marked here, that smooth muscle contraction will be increased. There will be neural inhibition, and this inhibition will happen because of the presence of this type of receptor as autoreceptor or heteroreceptor, autoreceptor and heteroreceptor. Then that will lead to decrease in ganglionic transmission because of the lesser release. Then neural inhibition is there, and that will lead to increased tremor and analgesia. Remember, it's not analgesia, analgesia. It will cause increased analgesia, and that's why it has a clinical significance in pain. So other clinical significance are Alzheimer's and cognitive dysfunction. Coming on to the third type, that is M3 type. We have the presence in the CNS like hippocampus, the cortex, the smooth muscle, the glands, and the heart. See, again, the cellular function here is through GQ type of GPCR. All the odd number receptor, that is M1, M3, and M5, they act through GQ, whereas even number of receptor, that is M2 and M4, they act through GI type. So GQ, upon stimulation of GQ, it is all through the IP3 DAG pathway. Okay, so it stimulates the IP3 DAG pathway, leading to depolarization and also activation of phospholipase D2 or A2, leading to increased formation of arachidonic acid. Coming on to the physiological function, we have smooth muscle. Here, stimulation of this receptor on smooth muscle like bladder specifically, it will cause increased contraction. Whereas in the gland, secretion will be increased, like example salivary gland. Then there is decrease in dopamine release. And there is increase in the synthesis of nitric oxide. Fat and food intake will be increased and leading to increase in the weight. The clinical significance is in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, then urinary incontinence, and then IBD. So these are the clinical significance of stimulating the M3 receptor. Now we will see the remaining two type of muscarinic receptor, that is M4 and M5, for which there is very little clinical significance till date. So the M4 is located mainly in the CNS, forebrain, cortex, hippocampus, and stratum. Cellular response wise, this also act through GI type of GPCR. Now this M4, it's a even number of receptor, so M2 and M4 even number, they act through this. So GI, upon stimulation GI type of receptor, there is inhibition of the enzyme adenylyl cyclase, in turns leading to decrease in CAMP. Also there would be opening of inward potassium activation or channel, and there is decrease in voltage gated calcium channel, leading to hyperpolarization. Next is function. Here there is decrease in transmitter release. Upon stimulation of this particular type of receptor, there is decrease in transmitter release, especially in central nervous system, and that happens because of the presence of this type of receptor as autoreceptor or heteroreceptor. Upon stimulation, this will cause decrease in the transmitter release. Then it will cause analgesia, increase in analgesia, and that is why it has a clinical significance in neuropathic pain. Then it has the cataleptic activity in which there is seizure, rigidity, and loss of sensation, pain sensation. Then there is facilitation of dopamine release. It helps to increase the release of dopamine. The significance, the clinical significance is in Parkinson, schizophrenia, and neuropathic pain. Coming to the other type, that is M5. This is mainly present in substantia nigra, and this acts through GQ type of GPCR. Again, here it is, since it is the odd type of receptor, so M3, M4, M1, M3 and M5, they act through GQ-IP3 DAG pathway and causing depolarization, also causing activation of phospholipase A2 and D2, leading to increase in synthesis of arachidonic acid. The physiological function is that it increases the drug seeking behavior. There is augmentation of drug seeking. That happens mainly because of the increase in dopamine release, and that's why it has a clinical significance in drug dependence. Other than that, it may act as mediator for dilatation, which is not very clear. The clinical significance, as I told, it is drug dependence, Parkinsonism and schizophrenia. So this was all about the muscarinic receptor M1 to M5. Thank you so much.